Coming up next on The Voice of Alabama Politics, happy anniversary to us. Also, the V team takes a look at baiting Bambi. And the Bernie bots are coming to Alabama to help Doug Jones. Now that's super freaky. All this and much, much more coming up next on The V. Welcome to The V, the voice of Alabama politics, where we tackle the tough issues so you have the hard facts. I'm your host, Bill Britt, and as always, I'm joined by the V team. Happy anniversary, y'all.
Happy anniversary, everybody.
Hello. 4 years.
Like to do
4
it games.
years.
Yeah.
4 years.
4 years, amazing. Jack?
Hadn't even been shot at yet.
Well, no.
Not that they didn't try.
Yeah, hold your fire.
There were
right?
some rough moments in there.
Jack, where'd you get that tie? Did you steal that from an Auburn grad?
No, actually, it's a Halloween tie,
Ah.
as opposed to an Auburn tie, because I'm a Bama guy.
Yeah,
And it's got some green in there. That's not blue.
Yeah. Okay, well, it doesn't match then. So
well,
what?
you know,
Well, I'm saying it's not
I'm
orange
not a
and blue.
fashion
It's
plate,
not
believe me.
no, you're more
Not
like
at
a
all.
fashion platter. You're like the whole deal.
Yeah.
You got it all. Anyway, it 4 years has gone by so quickly. It seems amazing that it seems like it was yesterday.
It does. It does.
We're coming up on another session, Jack. And those just keep rolling around like broken down dams, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like water over the dam. There's a lot of pre-filed bills this time, and one of them is a proposed constitutional amendment that will do away with having to read a bill at length.
Why? I mean,
Save
Dickie
time.
Drake's a friend. I, appreciate that he might want to streamline the process, but why do we want to go tinker with that?
Also, what'll Robo Robbie do now?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
know.
Well, I know.
Everybody loves Robo
That's-
Robbie.
And I think
Republican policies are killing jobs for Robo Robbie.
I think the idea is that, this is a law that was enacted around 1901, somewhere around there, and that they say, well, you can go read it now. I mean, there's not somebody has to write it out. But that's their argument they have.
Come
for
on,
it.
and what, do away with the filibuster too? I mean, this is also a form of filibuster. This is a way of making a point. And believe me, we've all been through the, grueling 36-hour reads of a bill, but they can make a point by doing that.
Well, it's like the Accountability Act that was passed in the cloak of darkness,
Yep.
which was not done according to the rules.
No.
I kind of think this is sacrosanct, and let's leave it into law.
Well, and I agree with you. I mean, but it's just one more thing. Beth, I know this is a bill that's kind of controversial, but maybe not, is that Dick Brubaker, Mrs. Gavan has passed or wants to pass a piece of legislation that says that municipalities can opt out of this monument bill that requires that you never move a statue or a monument after a certain date.
Right, and this whole thing has caused a lot of needless trouble across the state, and we've seen it on both sides where, if you've got a monument that's falling down, it's derelict, and this bill also prevents you from being able to go in and fix it up and give monuments the respect they deserve in some cases, or the removal they deserve in others. So it's really it was pushed through hastily and as a way to stop, a problem that was coming nationally where people were coming through taking down monuments. I think it needs a little more working on to get this bill to be a good place.
Well, and Susan, Dick Brubaker wants to to exempt schools from this Preservation Act. And I think that there are some leeway
It's,
here.
it's
to
just
give and
like
take.
Beth says, we need to go back, and they always do this stuff in a hurry, and we end up having to go back and clean up. If they just, in the beginning, go ahead and define everything where the municipalities can opt out, the schools can opt out. You know, these are good arguments that need to be addressed as we're moving forward with these monument bills. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of problems.
Because now you've got the Birmingham legal thing where you've got the big black box of racism basically sitting in Lynn Park, where Mayor Bell, said, fine, we can't take it down, we'll just build a box around it. We haven't touched it.
Because they didn't address that issue in the bill.
Right.
I wonder, I've been thinking about this, Jack, and you may agree or disagree. I hate removing history even out of context. And so maybe one of the answers is to build other memorials right next to it that kind of put it all in context.
Do you know what percentage of people in Alabama, and I'm not picking at Alabama, but what percentage of people that are in the general public care about a statue? They probably don't even know what it means. If we don't make a big deal about it and just let them stay, history's going to forget about those people anyway.
Right.
That's the way life is. But
Yeah.
And Bill, to your point about, maybe if we put something next to it to put it in a context, that's what a museum is for. That's where
Well,
history belongs.
And I don't disagree with you on that, but I
Right.
mean, I don't want to do away with I don't want to do away with the Washington Monument or the Jefferson Memorial or the Lincoln Memorial. I mean, where does it end and we become the Taliban? I mean, where does it end? We start blowing up history because it doesn't agree with our philosophy today. I mean, that's my question.
Well, and that's
Good
where, it
point.
comes down to local control.
Yep.
And it's the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah. Well, something that we have little control of, but I remember the chant, no justice, no peace. And Jack, Lynn Stewart is running to be the Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, and Perry Hooper Sr. must be rolling in his grave.
no, actually, I think Perry and Lynn were
they close?
Yeah, they were simpatico. I don't know that they were close friends, but I'm not a Lynn Stewart fan. I think our Supreme Court is an activist court, and that's certainly not what Republicans run on, especially when it comes to gambling and that cornerstone ruling. I think we have a Supreme Court that, sucks, basically.
Well, and Susan, I can't agree more with
I do
you.
like some individual justices.
I do too. I do too. But Lynn Stewart got her job because she helped him go after Roy Moore. Then when she gets the job, she goes back and demands this pay that she said she was denied, which was not due her.
It's not due her. She managed to jump through some hoops to be able to get that money. Meanwhile, everybody else that should have been eligible was not allowed to get their money.
What was it, like $10,000?
It was about $10,000.
I mean, Beth, if she's so needy at $10,000, maybe she needs to get a real job.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make money, public service is not the place to do it. I mean, ask Mike Hubbard how that worked out.
Yeah.
This is just not the way to go. Go get a job in the private sector. You can make oodles and boodles as an attorney in the private sector.
Well, I mean, she's going to have competition in that race. I don't know what's going to happen there, but
I don't know who's running. I haven't heard of y'all.
I haven't heard anybody yet.
Well,
I
Tom
wish
Parker's,
he'd waited to.
Tom Parker's
Tom
gonna
Parker.
run.
Tom is
That's
going
right,
to run.
that's
That's right.
And-
He's going to give her a run for her money,
Yeah,
too.
I mean, that's Tom Parker's very strong, especially with the same crowd as Roy Moore. So
Yeah.
she's going to have a tough. All we've got now is these so-called pro-business judges. We don't have any pro-law. Well, we got a few
Pro-Constitution
pro-law.
judges.
Yeah.
Usual.
But we're going to have to leave it right there. You're watching the V, the voice of Alabama politics, celebrating 4 years, sticking it to the man.
Happy anniversary to the V.
This is Steve Flowers, and I want to congratulate Bill Britt and the entire Alabama Political Reporter staff and the V. I really enjoy watching the show every week, and thank y'all for having me on occasionally. Congratulations.
Food security, healthy citizens, and a strong Alabama economy. It all starts with our local family farms. I'm State Senator Tom Watley, and I'm proud of my work to support our local agriculture industry by cutting taxes, pushing to eliminate the overly burdensome regulations, and ensuring our agricultural entrepreneurs have the access they need to a skilled and legal workforce. When we work together to boost all of Alabama, we're boosting our family farms, and we've got more work to do. I'm running for re-election because I want to go back to Montgomery and give the farmers the tools they need to expand, thrive, and continue to serve as the main driver for our economy. I'm Senator Tom Whiteley, and I humbly ask for your vote on Election Day.
Welcome back to the V, the voice of Alabama politics. Beth, we're hearing reports that Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, these are folks that are encouraging Mayor-elect Wolfen to get his people motivated to elect Doug Jones. Pretty smart strategy, I would say, right?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I know that Randall, and of course now I have to call him Mayor-elect Woodfin. He's not my friend Randall anymore. But, you know, when he won that race, it was an uphill battle, and he built one of the best grassroots field organizations I've ever seen in Birmingham or anywhere, because I've worked in races all over the country. And so what he did was he brought in people who had worked on Bernie's campaign, people who had worked on Hillary's campaign, and now those people are employing him to say, get your volunteers, your base motivated to please now do the same thing for Doug.
Right. Well, you know, I think the point, I think that's a good point. Also, though, you have a young, energetic African-American mayor who's just a new kind of cat on the block. You have a white cat who's named Doug Jones, and he's, you know, he did some things back in the 90s, but I bet you half the younger voters don't even know who he is at this point.
I would agree. A lot of them don't, but I mean, it was a big case. It was all over the headlines. It was the 16th Street bombing case, and he came down with a prosecution on that. So
it was a cold case too. Like it was not supposed to get prosecuted.
The guy was in his 70s, I think, when they prosecuted him. So it was a big deal.
Well, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but Jack, he's going to get beaten like a rented mule in the rural community.
Well, he can carry Jefferson County all day, and he's still not going to win statewide. I don't believe. And I, you know, I think you're right. I think you're right. If Woodfin loans his troops or asks them to go help, that's going to be great in Birmingham, but it isn't going to help in Lee County. It isn't going to help in Houston County or
I don't even think it helps him in Selma.
It might help him in Selma a little bit.
We got a young dynamic mayor down in Selma.
You do. You got a great mayor down in Selma.
Well, you know, and I hope, Jack, every Republican in the state thinks like you and thinks Doug doesn't have a chance, and that on December 13th that all the Republicans go vote for Roy Moore, and that
well, they better go on the 12th.
On December 12th, that all the Democrats go vote for Doug.
You think there was a lot of little?
Well, it's my birthday. That's how I remember.
Oh well.
So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
No, I don't think there's a path. I'm not saying Doug Jones won't come close. I don't think currently there's a path to victory for him.
It's an uphill battle for sure. But what I am hearing too is lifelong Republicans telling me I've never voted for a Democrat, but I'm voting for Doug Jones. So we'll see how it shakes out.
I think a lot of them will stay home.
I agree with Jack.
A lot of for lack of working on the Doug Jones side.
Well, and all the best to them. I still think they get beat like a rented mule, but hey, that's just my opinion. You know, we got accused the other day of a suspect because we accepted ads from Roy Moore.
A news organization accepted ads?
Yeah,
oh, my God.
Doug Jones, send us ads. We'll run your ads. We'll be happy to. Doug Jones been on our show. Roy Moore's been on our show. They're all welcome to come back. One of the things that has been troubling, and Beth, I'm going to start off with you again because this involves Jefferson County. Jefferson County District Attorney-elect never took office because he was blocked because of felony perjury charges. He has now been convicted. Kay Ivey will elect the next person to serve until 2018 as the Jefferson County DA. Should she choose a Democrat or a Republican, I asked her office, and they said she'd just choose the best person for the job.
Right, well, that's a good answer coming from the Ivy camp. But, you know, the fact is that Democrats won every single race on the ballot in Jefferson County. We did not split ticket once up there. So to come in and appoint a Republican, it is very contrary to what the people of the county asked for. But I think that Governor Ivey can get out of this save face by just letting Danny Carr remain the interim until 2018. We don't have but a year left. He can stay acting DA in Jefferson County. And then we can elect a new one, and then her hands are clean because she didn't do anything.
Susan, that seems to be the consensus that Danny Carr is the guy.
It seems
Just
to
let
be the
him stay.
consensus. I mean, he was named interim when the indictment came down. They re-swore him in as interim right after the conviction. And why do we need to go to the expense of a special election at this point?
Well, and it won't be a special election. It'll be
well, that's right,
a
it's an
general
appointment.
election.
Yeah, it'll be on the ballot.
But,
Yeah.
you know, Jack,
Technically a special
I
election.
talked to some Republicans who said, we elected a Republican governor. We deserve a Republican DA. She should only report.
Well,
only,
you know, I
appoint
kind of
Republicans.
mixed emotions about that because I'm a lifelong Republican. But you don't want to send a poor person on a suicide mission. Get them in there for 9 months and then they lose. I mean,
Well,
appoint somebody that is palatable.
Think if the tables were turned too. Think about like what's the county where everything's red, and if Walter Subel comes in 2018 and the same situation is reversed, it would feel disingenuous to put in a Democrat district attorney in somewhere. Yeah, I don't know what's
Madison County.
Yeah, Madison County, Cleveland County, somewhere like that is a very, very red county. It would feel a little dirty to do that. I mean, so it goes both ways.
Well, and some partisans will say politics is dirty. We won.
And
they
of
have
course-
consequences, but I tend to agree with
In
you.
Alabama, being appointed is 9 times out of 10, nailing your own coffin
Yeah.
shut. I mean, look at Luther.
Yeah, it doesn't help. Baiting Bambi. They brought back this law. They're bringing back a bill once again that you can put out feed and corn and all kinds of stuff and lure feral hogs and deer and then blow their brains out while they're eating.
I'm sorry, how is this hunting? This is not hunting, this
It's not.
is waiting with a gun. Like,
Yeah.
this is not hunting.
It's like putting cheese in a mousetrap. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
If they want to do it, why don't they put out something that deer don't eat and hogs do eat and then shoot the hogs over the baited field? But if they put corn down, you're going to draw every deer from a 20-mile radius. I think it's terrible, Bill.
Yeah.
And I think these hunters have some of them have gone nuts. And
I don't have a problem.
And I own land and there are deer on it, and I don't like it.
Well, at our
Yeah.
farm, you can sit on the back porch and shoot deer off of it because they'll just walk through the backyard.
Yeah,
But,
well, they want them to come up to the back porch is what they want.
Yeah, I don't need
Make
to
it
feed them out of
easier
my
to
hand.
hit. I mean,
I've never understood this thing
And
about...
doesn't Jack Williams own some kind of feed and seed operation?
I don't know.
Did we hear that?
Yeah, I've heard that somebody.
Now, I don't know if it's
owns-
true,
I
but-
don't know if it's Jack. This is Mobile Jack Williams.
I know.
Right?
Right, yeah,
There's
yeah.
like 6 Jack
Well,
Williams.
we're going to have to leave it right there. Leave Bambi alone. Good Lord. Go out
Bambi.
hunting.
Go get your venison from Arby's now.
oh, I know.
You're watching The V, the voice of Alabama politics. We'll be right back with more news and analysis.
I'm John Merrill. I want to congratulate the V on 4 outstanding years of dedicated public service to the people of the state of Alabama. You don't know how valuable your sacrifice is to ensuring that you're keeping the people of our state informed about the things that are going on in Montgomery. Thanks for a great 4 years, and we look forward to many more.
This is John McMillan, Commissioner of Agriculture, and I'm pleased to congratulate Susan, Bill, and the rest of the V team on another successful year and a happy 4th anniversary.
Welcome back to The V, the voice of Alabama politics. Susan, Attorney General appointed by Robert Bentley, Attorney General Steve Marshall. We've started calling him Pac-Man, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, this guy is taking money from PACs that want to do away with the ethics laws, PACs that want to set Mike Hubbard free. And, this guy's just raking in the money from them.
He is. He is. Here I found 23 packs in only 3 months that he's taken from.
a lot of
And
packs.
that's a lot of packs, especially when I'm going through every statewide race. You know, we've got people going through all of the legislative races. He's taken more money from PACs than anybody else we can find, with the exception of Kay Ivey, who is running for governor, so that's understandable. I mean, the guy loves his PAC money.
Does that make her Ms. Pac-Man? Jack, what are you thinking about this? I mean, some of this money he's getting sounds like it's...
I have a problem with this, just like I have a problem when Supreme Court justices take money from law firms who have cases in their court, and which is a long time issue. I just think this smells bad. Jimmy Rain gave a lump sum of money to a group, and through their PACs, they funneled that money out to Steve Marshall. Jimmy Rain is part of the Mike Hubbard conviction, because Mike solicited him $150 and he gave $150 to Mike's business. So for the Attorney General to take money from the same man that gave money to Mike Hubbard, I think smells horrible.
Well, best we know, Jimmy Rain paid for most of Mike Hubbard's legal bills and still is.
Well, they were such good friends.
Well, they were.
I mean, as far as I know, like Jimmy Rain and Mike Hubbard are like Curious George and the man in the yellow hat, basically. Like that's that relationship there. But you know, it's just like Jack said, it doesn't pass the smell test. And remember, we still do not have ethics reform. Like the Hubbard trial, we saw blue holes in this ethics law. There were a lot of places that need clarification, and we were really excited about Steve Marshall maybe helping fix some of those. And this is making it look like not a chance.
Susan, you were going to say something. I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry. One of the biggest ones he's got so far is from Auto Pack. Find that interesting.
Auto dealers?
Yeah.
Auto dealers.
Don't know what that means.
Don't know what that means, but
Well,
that's the largest donation
You know,
he's got in
look,
here.
I think this guy is going to go the way of Luther Strange. He's going to get hammered by whether it's Chess Bledsoe or Alice Martin, or we're even hearing Troy King may get back in the race.
I heard there's a distinct possibility.
Yeah, those numbers are getting really hot and
By
heavy.
the jugular. This is gonna be ugly.
Troy King is polling at 30% right now, I guess just on name ID alone.
That
So,
would be.
Anyway, we're going to see what happens. You're watching The V, the voice of Alabama politics. We'll be right back with a special 4th anniversary celebration.
Abigail and I would like to wish a happy 4th anniversary to the voice of Alabama politics. Bill and Susan, you guys have done a wonderful job, and we look forward to continue to support you in the future. Thank you.
Happy 4th anniversary, Voice of Alabama.
Hi, Susan and Bill and everyone at the V. Congratulations on your 4th anniversary, and thank you for having the courage to be the voice of Alabama politics.
I'm John Merrill. As your Secretary of State, I want to encourage each and every eligible U.S. citizen that's a resident of Alabama to be registered to vote and to obtain a government-issued ID. It's important for your information to be updated as well. Please contact your local board of registrars or download the mobile app at Vote for Alabama so you'll be prepared to vote on December the 12th. We'll see you at the poll.
Welcome back to The V, our 4th anniversary celebration.
Finally, yay! Wow, it's been a long journey.
Well, it has, Jonathan. I guess we've been here since the beginning. It's been a long and winding road, but a lot of fun.
I'll never forget our first episode where
Oh, God.
I was late, my flight didn't make it.
Wait,
and
Jonathan, you're always on
Wait a
time.
minute.
Yeah, you are so
No
punctual.
kidding. I was
This time my
late.
flight was like an hour late, and I had left the show to some guys who didn't know what was going to happen, and the first episode was absolutely a disaster. But then we came back the next week, and it looked really good, and I've just appreciated being part of the show and part of the family. We've been through a lot of ups and downs in Montgomery. It can be a mean city. And we're still here, and hopefully we plan on being here for a long time.
Yeah, we do.
Joel, you very rarely get from behind a sound booth or a camera, but you've been here since day 1 too. Well, at least day 2.
Yeah, I came in, well, the first episode actually
That was right.
there, so.
Yeah, well, there was a reason for that. None of us knew what we were doing.
It's been great. It's been great making new friends, of course, and then, you know, all the people that have kind of come and gone as well. It's also been nice to meet some of the people that are doing what they do up there on Capitol Hill. So
Yeah, well, we appreciate you. Chandler, you just slid right in. You've done it all here.
Give her the
I've
mic.
been here for almost a year, I just
Yeah.
realized.
Yeah, it's coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Time flies when you're having fun, and I love you guys. And
You haven't gotten pregnant in the meantime.
She's multiplying.
She's multitasking. You're kind of one of our newest members as well.
Michael?
Michael, you want to
Say
say something?
something.
Oh.
It's been great.
Okay.
Not a man for many words.
Brevity is a hallmark of good character, I think.
I went through college, and then I'd say this show taught me a lot more than that did. I'd have to be honest.
You probably learned a lot more dirty words here than you did in college.
Yeah, we don't.
And Chandler Walker, you are our newest member and have already appeared on the show and doing a great job.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been about 2 months I've been with y'all now, but just want y'all to know y'all have changed my life. I absolutely love working with y'all, and I'm so proud to wake up every day and work with this team.
Jack, she'll learn better after a while.
Yeah, it won't take long. I think
first few months.
what I think is that I'd like to think we've made a difference in the whole political atmosphere in Alabama, and I'm happy to be a part of the show as the only right-wing kook on here. So, thanks for the
I'm
opportunity.
right-wing,
Well, yeah, but you're not in front of the camera.
we got kooks on all sides. Believe me, that's not a disaster. Beth, you've been with us since the beginning of the Alabama Political Reporter, and so you've seen a lot over the last 7 years, including this show grow.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I know originally I was kind of just a stand-in, and I'd get so nervous about, I'd think all week about what am I going to wear and what my hair is going to look like and what am I going to say and how am I going to be funny. And now as I wake up, I'm like, oh crap, it's Thursday, I got to go.
I'm running 5 minutes behind.
Yeah, I'll be there. Usually I'm not clear late, but Jonathan still takes the cake for always being late.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm earlier than all.
It's been a lot of fun, and I think this is one of the rare places where people like Jack and I, who are both on opposite sides of the spectrum politically, can sit down and say, well, I agree with you here, but I think you're wrong here, and then go have a cheeseburger together when it's over. And that's a rare thing in politics.
And Jack will even buy once in a while.
He will,
He's generous.
That's because I eat more than most people.
Susan, we got a few minutes. Without you, none of this would have been possible. So.
Well, thank you. This is a great family. I love you all so much. And if you know how much we love each other, you should see the back of this cake with Bill and his ginger snaps. But y'all are great, wonderful to work with, and I love calling you guys my family.
Well, every day we wake up and pray that we can serve the people of Alabama. We work hard to provide you not only with information and insight, but with a little humor. You are our heart while we do this. Thank you for watching The V. You watch us because we watch them.
Let's light the cake.
Let's light the cake.
You did it.
Took us a half an hour to do this earlier, right?
Here we go.
Let's
all blow it out.
I don't know. Have at it.
2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're popping this. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If this one's not even turning.
There was too much hot air to blow out the candle.
That's hard to blow.